We would like to thank our amazing sponsor, Touring Plans Travel. Their destination specialists are experts in smart travel and are there to help you plan an amazing Disney vacation. Whether you are looking at Disney World, a Disney cruise, or anywhere in the world, they will book you an amazing vacation and it costs you nothing. Their services are completely free, so head over to touringplans.com/travel and tell them Rope Drop Radio sent you. Now, on to the show.
Helping you navigate the Disney parks.
With the hope that it will be a source of joy and inspiration to all the world.
You're listening to Rope Drop Radio.
Welcome to another Rope Drop Radio. Derek and Doug talking all things Disney, but a lot of Epcot area today, Doug.
Yes, we're diving into some resort-type stuff.
We get a lot of questions always asking us about where would you stay, the what-ifs, and a lot of it deals with Epcot. I think people like food and wine and Festival of the Arts.
No. Is that why Disney made it year-round, basically?
Pretty much.
So we're going to start a series with this one. This is the Epcot area resort. And then we'll move on and we'll do the Magic Kingdom area resorts and the Disney Springs area resorts and the ESPN or Animal Kingdom area. I don't know what to call it at this point, but
I can't call it anything until
series.
they get a Skyliner in that area, or Walt Disney World.
We'll kick the can down the road on that one and see if they announce that at D23. Maybe.
That would be awesome.
Wanting it?
But before we begin, we have some trip details, Doug, for our upcoming Rope Drop Radio trip.
That's right. Join us September 11th through the 14th in the parks. Come meet up with us. We have several meetups planned, and here's kind of the outline that we have established with our sponsor, Touring Plans Travel. All right, it's a Galactic Hero Challenge on Sunday night, the 11th. We'll meet up, ride Buzz Lightyear, see how many Galactic Heroes we can get. There may be some sort of prize. I don't know. Can't make promises, but I'd like to promise that there might. All right, then on the 12th or Monday at about 2 to 3-ish, the time will be determined closer to the event. We'll meet up at La Cava for a beverage, and then after that, we will stumble around the World Showcase enjoying Epcot's Food and Wine Festival.
I like it.
I'll do my best not to eat a fork this time, Derek.
I hope so. Well, actually, if our Patreons and listeners are there,
I'm not.
I hope you do.
I hope I don't.
They need to see it. It was epic.
It was a thing. And then on the 13th, I believe, the Tuesday morning, we'll be rope dropping at Hollywood Studios. Of course, we'll do a little rope drop, then we might meet up for a Pop-Tart, because Derek loves his Pop-Tarts.
I do.
Your breakfast at Woody's.
Love
and
Woody's.
Then we will go and try to find the elusive trumpet squid.
Oh, yay.
So, Woody's meetup, moving over to
It's a
the
thing,
trumpet
squid.
We're going to make it a thing. So that's kind of a morning activity. Epcot's kind of all evening. We'll be somewhere. So if you can't make it to the La Cava thing at a certain time, we'll be there all afternoon and night, slowly making our way around. And then, of course, Sunday night late, we'll be in the Magic Kingdom. The last morning, probably rope drop at Magic Kingdom, maybe end the trip with a cinnamon roll. That one's not in stone yet. But that's kind of the outline. And if you book with Touring Plans Travel for our event, you get a special pre-arrival package with some rope drop type items. If you're fans of the show, they'll make you giggle. And then you get a $25 e-gift card. Also, if you book with touringplans.com/travel right now and click rope drop radio as who sent you, you also are eligible if you book by the 30th. If you stay at a value resort for 3 nights, and a 3-day base ticket, you get $25 gift card. And this is on top of what you get for doing our event. Moderate resort, you get a $50 gift card. Deluxe resort, $75 gift card. Room only bookings value you for a 4-night. Value, you get a $15 gift card. Moderate, you get $30 gift card. And deluxe, you get a $50 gift card. So a little extra incentive to book before the end of June. And then the 25 from our event on top of that, it's practically free at that.
Yes, Disney, wow.
Practically free. But a nice little extra gift card to have for booking with our sponsor. And it should be fun. We plan on having a good time, especially that food and wine, eat and drink. We'll try lots of different food. We go to Station, everybody gets something different. It was fun the last time we did it, Derek.
It was a great time. I mean, yes, you did eat a fork, but it's also great just to walk around. There's something about an adults only style sometimes, and I know some people might have
kids
kids
can
there.
stop and say hello. Don't
Yes.
worry. But
yeah, come join us, and it's a lot of fun, and yeah, definitely kids are welcome, and hopefully they see the trumpet squid, and we're just looking forward to it. I know a lot of you guys have reached out to us, and some of you are really bummed that it's like, oh, you're one day off, so sorry about that. A couple of you, I know, we planned it a little bit later, but yeah, this is going to be a good trip.
Yeah, so September.
I have to fly direct
Derek.
from LAX because I'll be at D23, and I have to fly all the way down to Florida. I looked at those flights today, Doug. Haven't booked it yet.
You just looked today. That's how you roll on flights. I'm surprised you've already looked.
Well, it's got to make sure. I'm navigating a lot of things with different trips and stuff like that.
I bet.
But yeah. Also, flights are not cheap anymore. I don't know if you've looked at flights. Like, someone needs to turn the airline industry off and on. Maybe they'll get it back to normal. I think
that's after the oil industry is turned off and on.
I was supposed to be in Texas this week, and then the flight came back from the company. It was like, yeah, we can't spend $1,000 for you to go down. I'm like, all right. It happens. Yep. So, all right, let's get to the Patreon. Thank you, Lee Leary, for becoming a new Patreon member and getting the bonus episodes and sometimes swag. And you know what? If you're one of our Patreons or one of our listeners down there on our trip, you might get a bonus drink out of it. We shall see. But thank you, all of our Patrons. We love you guys. You keep growing. We love the community. That Facebook page is awesome. And if you want to be part of that, you got to go into the show notes and click the link.
Yeah, the after show tonight, who knows what we may talk about? No idea at this point. It could go anywhere.
It could.
All right, Apple Podcast reviews. Thank you to everyone that's recently left some. They're great. Here we go. My favorite podcast, 5 stars. I love that title.
That's a good one.
It's one of my favorites. All right, it's by...
Are we even our favorites?
I don't know.
I have to edit the show.
Actually, on my work computer today, when I went to put the review into the outline, it asked me, do you want to start downloading this show again? So
yeah,
I'm not even my own.
Not even downloading it. You got to at least download the show, Doug. I keep getting numbers
on my phone.
We have a new sponsor. We got to show.
Got to show the downloads.
Yes.
Come on, folks. All right. Here we go. By DJ 987635. So I don't think I can mispronounce that. All right. I started listening to you guys right before my most recent trip to Disney and have been hooked on this show ever since. I'm always excited to see what the newest episode is going to be about. Overall, a great, entertaining podcast if you love all things Disney World. There you go. Nail on the head.
It. Perfect.
We cover that pretty well. We do hit on sea, land, other things, but mostly Disney World, right?
We are addicted to the mouse. We're Disney adults. I've said that now many times. So thank you so much for leaving the review. Thank you. We're so close to 400. When we hit 400, we're going to do some sort of fun giveaway. I don't know. I think we're like 15 away. So keep doing it. Get there, and we're going to go do something big because 400 is amazing.
Maybe some more ugly rope drop socks.
Maybe. Okay, at least one minimum. Pair of socks. That is a minimum we'll do, and then something big as well. So, Doug, before we even dive into Epcot, there's been a bunch of news that have been coming out.
Need to do a little news update.
Yeah.
All right. So this news update is about the Guardian of the Galaxy virtual queue availability. So when I was there opening week, it was like Rise of the Resistance split second. It's starting to become minutes of time. Especially the 1 p.m. distribution window. So if you don't get it at 7 a.m., you have pretty good odds. Like, there's reports of it being open, like on June 3rd, the 1 p.m. window remained open for 14 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Yep. June 4th, 23 minutes.
That has never happened at Rise.
Yep. But then June 6th saw it drop back to 2 minutes. But then June 7th was 90 minutes. Now, this is for the 1 o'clock window. But we're seeing lots of availability of that 1 o'clock window for virtual queue or boarding groups.
That's good.
So not the individual lightning lane. You still need to do that at 7 a.m. Now, it's not a split second thing, but I wouldn't recommend waiting. This is a good trend. But what this means is I think standby queue replacing boarding groups is closer rather than further away.
I can see that.
I think we definitely see standby queue before we see Tron, right?
Well, Yeah, I don't know if Tron's even. Do we have an over/under on when Tron's going to open?
We'll get to that in the news. We'll get to that.
Oh, okay. There you go.
All right. Next item. We added some seats to the Connection Cafe and the Connection Eatery place. So, as I talked about, like, seats were kind of tricky to get to, because people just sit, right, and hog up the seats. Now they added some on the breezeway in Future World there. So we're already adding seats to our restaurant, Derek.
That's, you know what? Good, because I need to eat there. But
do you want to sit outside, though, in Florida in the summer?
No, I don't want to be outside right now. I was outside all weekend. It was like 100 degrees. So, no, I'm good.
All right. Next news item. On to Tron. They are testing the lighting package. Now, what this means is if we compare it to when they started testing the lighting package in Japan, we could be looking at anywhere in the next 3 months.
Except, you know how Disney likes to build things, Ratatouille, and it sits there.
Or not Japan, sorry, Shanghai. My bad.
Yes.
Correct myself before I get 20 emails. Shanghai.
I'm not editing that now.
No, don't.
Okay.
I own it. I said Japan. I meant Shanghai. But yeah, so maybe, what do you think the over-under of September 11th, Tron being open, Derek?
0. Not a chance.
Well, that's no fun.
I know. It's a bummer because that's how my luck runs. I always miss. I got lucky on Millennium Falcon being there.
So you're saying annual pass previews start September 15th?
Yep, that's about right.
Yeah. Okay. Or the annual pass previews will end September 10th.
Yep. That's actually happened to me on trips before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Glad to see we're optimistic. But there we go. That's our Tron update. Last thing, for me, Finding Nemo opened at Animal Kingdom.
And it's got some new imagination to it.
Yeah, it's a little different show. They have already cut back the number of showings, though.
Yes.
They chopped off the first one and the last one because attendance. So that could be part of the June slower. It's a slower time of year, early June. I mean, great time to go if you want less crowds, but I hope Disney recognizes when the crowds grow to add those back.
I agree. But need to check it out. It's been a while since I've seen that show.
All right, what is your news item, Derek?
Universal Studios, gonna go away for a second, but I'll bring it back, is opening up 2 things that I think is really interesting escape rooms. One that's Back to the Future, one that's Jurassic World. People who know me know that I love escape rooms. I think this is fascinating. I'm interested to see how much it is, how good it is. But I also want to know, is this something that Disney could bring to Disney Springs? We have a couple buildings slightly open. You know, the NBA experience that I never did.
What?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. There's a couple floors there. Is this something you think Disney could bring, or will mimic, or do something based on how well it does at Universal?
I think it would just take the right third party to open it at Disney Springs. That's all it is, right? The right third party that has the right IPs to theme. I don't see Disney opening their own, though.
Okay.
Which would be the best.
Yeah.
Which, think of like a Jungle Cruise, Haunted Mansion. Like, I think those would be extremely popular and just raking in the money, hand over fist.
Absolutely.
Like, locals would eat it up.
The fact that it hasn't been done, and when they announced it, it kind of threw me off guard. I was like, oh man, I started doing escape rooms like 6 years ago.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Like they're finally dying down in trend, and now they're finally getting to it. So may have missed the mark on it a little bit.
Yeah, it's a little late, but I think the right park IPs.
The right IP, maybe some animatronics, a really good storyline, make it a must-do, have a couple different themes so you can come back. Think if you did a Star Wars escape room, Doug.
Oh, that
like
would
the
be...
Halcyon and meet Star. Yes.
Kind of felt like I was in a 2-night escape room in the Halcyon.
Because you were staying with me and you couldn't get away from me.
It's true.
Yep.
It's true.
It is. So, all right, there's the news. Always fun to talk about the news on the show because we do miss it. But before we begin the Epcot show, we have a quick word from a sponsor.
Do you have an idea for a great new podcast? You can bring your own idea to life and start your podcast today with Libsyn. Our podcast has been on Libsyn for 6 years now, and we love it. Libsyn has everything you need to plan, launch, and grow your own podcast. Libsyn provides some of the best resources created by expert podcasters who will show you everything you need to know, like what equipment you should use, how to record great audio, and how to get your show onto Apple Podcasts and other popular platforms, and much more. Plus, as a friend of Rope Drop Radio, when you sign up for Libsyn, you get your first month of podcast hosting for free. That's a free month of podcasting. There has never been a better time than right now for you to start podcasting. Visit Libsyn.com and use code FRIEND, FRIEND, FRIEND. That's Libsyn.com, LIBSYN.com, and use code FRIEND to get started and create your podcast today.
And now on to the Epcot Resort area, Doug.
Disney World has lots of different resort areas, and we're going to kind of take a little dive into each of those areas. And the best one, in my opinion, people argue it's Magic Kingdom, but I think it's the Epcot area, Derek.
Different feel, different vibe. I really have, it's grown on me because I used to not like Epcot as much, but now staying close by, walking distance, it's got a unique feel and just some of the best people I've met.
Yeah, so what resorts are in the Epcot area? It's Yacht Club, Beach Club, Boardwalk, Riviera, Caribbean Beach. Also, the Swan, Dolphin, and the Reserve. We're not really going to talk much about those because we don't stay there. They're not owned and operated by Disney. However, they are right there. But for those Disney resorts, let's first, Derek, talk about some of the advantages of the area in general.
Absolutely. I mean, for all these, you can get to 2 theme parks without missing a beat. I mean, you're walking distance to Hollywood Studios and Epcot, depending on where you're staying, or a quick Skyliner ride. I mean, that's just hands down the greatest thing.
Mm-hmm.
Just being able to get inside a park quickly without a hassle and getting your day started the best way possible.
Yeah, the multiple transportation options. You mentioned the Skyliner.
Oh, and the friendship boat. Even forgot about that. I've done that many times.
That's where I was headed. You beat me to it. That's where I was going with that sentence. And so Riviera and Caribbean Beach are Skyliner only, but Yacht Club, Beach Club, Boardwalk, you can walk like literally.
I've done it. I don't always
to
think
Epcot.
of it. Nah.
And you can walk to Hollywood Studios, which we like to do at Rope Drop, but we don't usually come back by walking unless at night, like after fireworks. The being able to walk is priceless, Derek.
At night? No, I disagree.
Yeah.
I'm taking a Skyliner.
Well, if the line is a mile long,
I do not. My feet are done.
The line at Hollywood Studios, say it's super long. I'm
Still
walking back
waiting.
to the boardwalk.
All
right. You stand there on your feet.
We will time it sometime. You versus me.
It's not a race.
It's always a race.
It's always a race. Yeah, you're right. So that's one of the big advantages of the area is convenience to those 2 parks, which is half of Walt Disney World, really. Buses everywhere else, right?
Yep.
But anywhere else you stay, it's buses everywhere else. I think the Skyliner, we can't say enough things about. And that's really what makes Caribbean Beach leaps and bounds ahead of the other moderates, right?
Absolutely.
Any other advantages of just the area, the geography that you can think of? I mean, it's pretty.
Oh, it's beautiful. And
lake.
The great thing is when you do walk, you're meeting other like Disney people who probably listen to Rope Drop Radio.
Yeah.
I have great conversations with the people in that area.
The average guest does not walk that path.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's also a great resort area to stay if you're a runner. I walk enough at Disney World, don't need to run, but I've been told.
Weird.
Yeah, agreed. So the Skyliner, A+. Walking, A+. Let's talk about the rooms in some of these resorts. Now, we have lots of different room types between
Pretty much
them,
all the room types you can imagine.
But they've been updated at Yacht Club, Boardwalk, or Yacht Club and Beach Club, to where we got the hardwood floors, very nice rooms, nice amenities, deluxe size, the 5th sleeper in the couch. The Boardwalk Inn has not been updated as recently, though. That's the one drawback there. You also have all the villa options, right?
Yep.
And all those. Riviera, though, if we're going to talk about rooms They have some of the nicest, don't they, Derek?
Oh, absolutely. That's the reason why that's my wife's favorite resort on property, and my daughter even says it's hers now too. It's great. They're new, they're clean, they're big. You feel spacious in that 3-bedroom grand villa. I've been in it multiple times. If someone wants to host Doug and I, we will gladly share a room in there.
Grand Villa, just
it is
hook us
insane.
up.
It is incredible, overlooking the water. I love the Riviera, and the rooms are phenomenal.
Yeah. Now, Caribbean Beach is a moderate. It's the only moderate on this list, so it's definitely cheaper. Definitely cheaper.
Yep.
The rooms still don't feel small.
No, they don't at all.
It's queen-size beds.
It's the distance you sometimes have to walk to the Skyliner.
It's a big resort.
It is massive.
Spread out. Also a good place to run is the Riviera and Caribbean Beach, but it's windy pass. But you have that bed that folds out of the wall as well to make it a 5th sleeper. Now, granted, we're kind of running out of people in my household that can sleep in it. I think we're down to just Samantha that fits. So that is an issue.
She's 16, isn't she? Kind of almost done growing. I have no idea.
She's done growing. She's
Okay.
been done for a while.
There you go. That's
She's
her own
5
bed.
foot even. She can sleep in there. Yeah, but we used to always put Alden in that, and then the girls would share a bed. So this is a conundrum.
Yeah, my
next time
daughter,
we do
that's
that.
her bed. Like, it is not even a question anymore between the boys.
Yeah, so that's one of the cool things about Caribbean Beach. Also, the theming of the room, it's got that tropical Mickey going on.
I love that.
I really like that at Caribbean Beach. And I think they're getting
You know what I
rid
don't
of
like
the
about
pirate rooms.
Caribbean Beach?
What?
2nd floor, no elevator. If you have
That
a
is
stroller.
a thing. That if you have
Learned a lesson the hard way. That was
Luggage.
My kids falling asleep in the stroller, trying to figure how to get them up to the 2nd floor.
That's true. Yeah.
Yep.
So all the rooms are good. That's probably the biggest negative of Caribbean Beach. Hotel layout, Riviera probably has the smallest lobby.
Yep.
Boardwalk is the most awkward to get to the
Boardwalk's
amenities
so awkward to get around.
because you can't exit out of any side of it. You have to go out the center. Yacht and Beach, though, I think they're one of my favorites. They're kind of mirror imaged sort of thing. So that's the rooms. I think this is a good time to segue to the pools.
Well, yeah,
Derek?
Yacht and Beach alone.
You go.
That pool, Stormalon Bay, kind of just speaks for itself. It's massive. It's got a great pool bar for adults. It's got sand for the little kids. It's got a cool slide and
Slide.
A really big slide. It's just all around the best pool on property by far and away. You're not going to be able to compete with anything else, but it does have its drawbacks. Like for me as a parent, it's too big. Like with little
Can't see 'em
kids.
all the time.
I know. I lose track. Like one parent has to stay by the 4-year-old, and the other parent's just hoping the 10 and 9-year-old, are good to go.
I mean, it's parenting style right there.
It's called zone defense, Doug.
Yeah, yeah. The water slide's the longest on property outside of
I've
the
done
water
it. Have you
parks.
done it?
Yes.
Oh, yay.
Many times. You have to walk a ways to get to it. You
You
gotta
do.
like cross the sidewalk and
That's actually a negative for me. I hate having to walk out the resort past all the runners to get up to the slide.
you gotta watch out for the people like Alden
Yep.
zigzagging. Yeah. Let's jump over the boardwalk pool. It's the right size. You can kind of survey the whole area, like you're saying, but plenty big. They got rid of the clown though.
That's a bummer. That's
disappointing.
terrible.
The clown was frightening, and I had loved it.
Yep.
But now
It
it's
also fit the
Mickey
theme.
and
Like
Minnie.
that's what I thought it had that.
It still fits the theme. There's a Mickey and Minnie boardwalk. One of their first episodes of this new style Mickey and Minnie is what they drew from. And so it works. But did it need to work?
It didn't.
I
I
don't
felt like it was
know.
a little bit of a waste of money, but okay, Disney, you do you.
But still a good slide, good
Mm-hmm.
pool, fun, good pool bar, like a carousel. This is very cool.
Yep.
Both these resorts have quiet pools as well if you don't want to go to the big crazy one. But I don't know.
What?
Yeah, there's a quiet pool
Huh.
if you want quiet.
What?
I don't know.
Okay.
All right, Riviera pool, Derek. This one is really nice,
I
right?
love it. I can see my kids. Like I can sit in the hot tub and see my kids perfectly. So that's a plus. They have a little splash area that my 4-year-old loves, and he'll just walk around, go down that slide 100 times. The big twisty slide in the main pool, my kids love. But the greatest thing is that it's small enough that I feel confident that I can keep. I don't have to be next to my kids. Like, I know where they're at all times. And that's what gives me peace of mind. Also, you have Bar Riva, one of my favorite pool bars right there, too. So you got to grab a cocktail while you're at it.
Yeah, and I think Caribbean Beach is actually kind of on the same playing field as Riviera.
Yeah,
the
very
size,
similar.
amenities, splash park,
two
slides,
yeah.
zero depth as well.
I love that pirate ship.
The theming of that pirate ship is cool, too. So all the pools along this corridor, A+.
Yep. No,
I don't think
agree.
we say that about any other resort area.
It'll be interesting. We'll have to keep that going.
I think all the pools check all the boxes.
Mm-hmm.
Boardwalk might be the weakest.
I would think so. I mean, Caribbean Beach was like right up there as my favorite because I don't always love the Stormalong Bay. So
it's so big. It's super awesome.
Yep.
We're not saying don't. Like, it's still the best pool, but it's so big. There's so much to do.
It's too much for if you have little kids. It's too stressful. Like I am
It's
not
deep as well.
relaxed. When we're there, I am never because there's even a lazy river. So as a parent, I was never relaxed the whole time we went to
now,
the pool.
if you had kids that just
Older.
played in the sand, though,
yeah.
little kids that were just like sand build, they can stay in that area. Then it's super chill.
Yep. So that's
then
why
you
I
also have
love
sand in
Riviera and Caribbean Beach. I can see my kids. I'm good.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go. Pools. Now on to something we've been asked to talk more about. That's dining. So let's talk a little
great
bit
dining in the area.
Table service, quick service. I have to pick a breakfast location. I'm going to the Riviera and going to Topolino's.
That's a great choice.
That is the breakfast that I would choose. There's two other really good ones. We'll get to those, I'm sure, as we're going back and forth here. But Topolino's breakfast, characters, good food, A+.
Topolino's just dinner, A+
So your
as well.
dinner is your.
There
We'll
you
go
go.
back and forth here. You're going dinner.
Yeah.
All right. So we both love Topolino's. It's, you dress up a little bit for dinner. It is fine dining. It's kicked up a notch in that regard. I'll go over to the Boardwalk. Trattoria Al Forno.
Darn it, you took the one I can never say.
Well, I wanted to just say it before you said it wrong and couldn't remember how to say it. So their breakfast is great. Good Italian breakfast and dinner. It's hopefully characters will return here. They're not back yet, but hopefully they will. That's a great option for breakfast at the Boardwalk. I really like it. And it's good. You've had dinner there as well, right, Derek?
I have. It was one of the best meals I've ever
phenomenal.
had. Yep.
Yeah.
And Flying Fish just reopened, so
I haven't eaten there.
I've never eaten there either. It's been
Not
on
a
my list
fish.
for a while.
Not a
Just to
fish
try it
person.
out. So we can't give that one an honest review.
No.
So I can't give Yachtsman an honest review either because I've never eaten there.
I can, from the window where I've
it
drooled
looks
on
great.
it,
Yes.
where they have the meat hanging, you can see like my nose and my mouth and my breath.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if it had been open the right days of the week, we would have eaten there on our last trip, but it was not. So we went to Nine Dragons instead.
That happens.
That is not equivalent, folks.
One I was disappointed in a little bit, Cape May Cafe. Been there a few times.
Dinner or breakfast?
Both. I thought it was...
Oh, jeez. I love their breakfast with characters.
Yeah.
Which aren't back yet, just FYI. The dinner was a lot of food when we did it on our rope drop trip with some friends. But they didn't bring me my food forever because of my allergy. So that was a strike. But if you like seafood, if you want
that seafood style,
people that like that say it's good. We're just not.
We're too Midwest beef people.
Yeah,
should have been a Yachtsman.
Should have been a Yachtsman, but yeah.
The other restaurant that a little bit of a swing and miss for me though was Ale and Compass.
Oh yeah.
Yep,
it's just a restaurant. They have a really good lounge.
The lounge is phenomenal. I've been to lounge a few times. It is a great lounge.
They mix their drinks stronger and a little bit
and it's
bigger.
also never crazy busy. Like you can always get a good drink in the lounge.
It's definitely, I'd say that's Alex Sinek's favorite lounge on property.
And there you go.
If I'm wrong, Alex, correct me. But I feel like that's his
So my favorite bar
go-to.
on property is in this area. Do you know what it is?
The Abracadabra.
It is the Abracadabra
Wow.
bar. I love that bar.
The theming of it, just everything.
Everything about it. Every time I'm in there, I meet really great people. I always drink old fashions, and it's just a good bar. And awesome bartenders as well.
I think so. Now, if say you're over at Caribbean Beach, the sit down dining there is Sebastian's, I believe,
Yep.
and I've heard it's better since it reopened. I have
reopened, yeah.
not
Heard
eaten
the
there
same
since it
thing.
reopened, so that's something. Let's talk counter service. This is the area where this
'Cause
area struggles.
oh my gosh, beach club counter service. Yeah,
It's in the gift shop.
Yep.
Yacht clubs, it's in a gift shop. Boardwalk's counter service is the Boardwalk Bakery,
Yep.
where there's lots of pastries, desserts. That's what they're good at.
Yep.
But then they
Not
have
great at
like
food.
a couple counter service things because there's nowhere else for people to eat. It's also where they have the refillable mugs. So it's kind of odd. That is the worst thing about these three resorts, the Boardwalk, Yacht, and Beach. However, Riviera fixed that.
Oh my
The
gosh,
Skyliner right away,
I've eaten
it's
almost
much
every meal there.
improved and much better.
And even the pizza, they have pizza there. It's pretty good. Not great, but it's pretty good.
Yes, it's like a flatbread style.
Yeah, we ate there surprisingly a lot because we took breaks our last trip, Doug. So we ate a lot of lunches there.
Yeah, it's Primo
Petito. Yeah.
Petito. I don't speak Italian. I tried to learn it on Duolingo, and then once it had me spell stuff, I was like, I'm out. I couldn't spell buongiorno,
Okay.
and I lost all my hearts.
That happens.
Those that have done Duolingo know what I'm talking about. So that's a great option. Counter service at Caribbean Beach is a food court that might be not the worst on property, but it's in the conversation.
Okay. I've eaten there. And
I've tried it a couple times, and
it literally has left a blank in me. Is the not a sports bar kind of still open over at Boardwalk?
no.
Not the
Or the
not
the-
really sport,
the-
the Draft House kind of.
yes, Big River Grill.
There you go,
and
Big
Brewing
River
Works.
Grill.
There you go.
I had an amazing meal there and really good drinks. So
yeah,
I enjoyed that one.
ESPN
ESPN's gone.
is not
Yes.
coming back. Yeah.
No, it will never open. So I couldn't remember.
So,
what
which
it's-
is unfortunate because on game days there's not many options if you want to go watch a game. So you end up in your room watching a game if it's that important. Shopping wise, there's not really any shopping that stands out. Is there just the regular gift shops at kind of all of them?
I don't know. Boardwalk's got some really unique. They got the art of Disney, and they have the Wyland area. So I thought that
You're
was
right.
really
The Boardwalk
nice.
does have a step up on the
Yep.
shopping. Other than that, it's typical.
I mean, Riviera
hotel.
has almost no shopping.
It's tiny. The lobby is tiny.
Yeah. Boardwalk
grounds are
and Yacht
cool.
Club have so little shopping, and same way, and it just blows my mind. I mean Yacht Club and Beach Club.
They're big. They have space. They just don't have much in them.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's nothing really exciting. There is at least resort specific merch. So if you want your keychain, your cup, your shirt, all of these resorts usually have it, which is a plus. But one thing that we can't finish without talking about quick service here. The pizza window at the Boardwalk. That
Still have
might be
never done
a
it.
lot of people's favorite. My wife and kids have done it more times than I care to count. Also, the Boardwalk has some entertainment in the evenings because it's a boardwalk. They also have food stands on the boardwalk. And we can't forget about the margarita stand.
Still have never had that one.
That's my
It's
wife's
your favorite.
favorite. One other thing, I think it's back. It came back is Jelly Rolls, the dueling pianos,
Yes,
which is very fun.
love that.
So that's kind of a unique spot. So overall, this resort area,
And I'm going to say there's one thing I like about this area
Yeah?
as well. You can see from the three, and actually a little bit from Riviera as well, you can see Harmonious
Yeah.
a bit at night. And there's something I actually enjoy. We've watched Harmonious from the pool. I mean, you can see it from Stormalong Bay. You can definitely go out there in the Crescent Moon Lake and see it as well. Or what was it? Crescent
Lake.
Crescent Lake. I don't know why I said moon.
Well, I don't know.
Never. But yeah, I definitely like that area at night and fireworks. Being able to see them, that adds to it as well.
So there you go. Epcot Resort Area, one of our favorites.
It is, absolutely. But we want to know which one of these are your favorites. So that is going to be on our social media this week. You're going to have to pick between the 5 that we talked about. Sorry if you're upset that we didn't talk about Swan or Dolphin.
Yeah, sorry, Swalpin.
I know one of our listeners, a friend of mine, that's all he stays. He's stayed there since he was a kid. He gives me a hard time. You know who you are. Sorry, you haven't convinced me. So not staying there anytime soon. But yeah, that's it. That is all the time that we have for this week's show. So if you want to book one of these resorts, which you definitely do, maybe September 11th, you need to go on to touringplans.com/travel, click the Rope Drop Radio part of the tab, and get a trip booked. Or if you want to go on a Disney cruise or Disneyland, don't do it over September 11th. Definitely come hang out with us. But any other kind of vacation, definitely go to touringplans.com and support them, which also helps support us. So we need to get to the Patreon show. What are we talking about? I have no idea. We're going to fake it until we make it on that. Enjoy those shows because they always turn out the best. If you want to hear that, click that in the show notes as well. And please leave a review. Help us get to 400 for whatever giveaway we are doing. But this is all the time that we have. So for Doug, I'm Derek. You've been listening to Rope Drop Radio.